health insurance is uber expensive. Every year I have to deal with it. And since Obamacare came in, it's just, God almighty, it's a mess for small business. It's horrible. Then on the other side, there's disability insurance. Now, long-term disability insurance costs, compared to health insurance, almost nothing. Mm-hmm. And so that's something I believe strongly in, having long-term disability insurance, and it costs almost nothing. And when I had the money, it was one of the first things I bought because it was a lot easier decision because it didn't cost anything compared to health insurance. Now, health insurance has been a fiasco since day one. And to start with, we came up with a plan. This was before Obamacare, where we would pay part of it, you pay part of it. And when it increased, well, we both picked up some of the increase. So you knew what your health insurance was costing, because people that have 100% of their health care insurance furnished, they don't measure the cost of it at all as a benefit.
Right.
It could cost a business $1 bazillion, and the employee, the team member, doesn't even care because they haven't noticed.
Wow. So group plans cost so much. Group health insurance costs so much for a small business. Why? Like, why is it so much? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, so first, it's because of the type of insurance that it is. It follows the rules of Obamacare, meaning they take everybody. So on that group plan, you are probably going to have some healthy people, and you're probably going to have some people with claims. And that's what insurance is, right? It's spreading the risk of a few across many. Well, your risk pool is your company. And so if you've got a lot of unhealthy people that are driving up claims, you're going to pay the cost. You know, it's one of the few complaints that people make. People complain to us about their insurance, and I get it. Like, it's not a pleasant, I don't love dealing with it, but they complain saying, I'm paying everyone else's claims. And it's one of the complaints that is factual. Like, that is exactly what insurance is. You are paying other people's claims. I think you should have both. I think you should have long-term disability, and I think you should have health insurance, because it feels a little irresponsible how that was positioned, because it almost sounded like take long-term disability instead of health insurance because of the cost difference. But that's like, wait for your arm to fall off. Don't deal with it when it falls off. Don't deal with it when you have a disease of the arm. Deal with it when it falls off, and then we're gonna take care of it, right?
Well, so do you have beef with Dave Ramsey?
I don't have beef with him. I think I don't really know him. I mean, I don't know him, but he's got such a platform. I think you have a responsibility to be careful.
He crushes with the Christians, the conservative Christians.
He sounds pretty conservative, but I and whatever, Godspeed. I don't care, but you could hear it in the Obamacare is the worst thing ever, in that whole tone that he was taking. And I don't think Obamacare is the worst thing ever. I think there are a lot of people that would not be here if Obamacare wasn't a thing, right? They wouldn't have insurance. They wouldn't have coverage for what they needed. That's really an issue. I think, is it the right thing for everybody? No, it's hard to it's hard, if not impossible, to give a blanket solution for the entire nation. That's a really tough thing to try to accomplish. So I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I do think it's made costs go up. Things are definitely different now than they were 15 years ago. But no, I just think it's a little irresponsible to say it almost, and we only saw a clip of it. So maybe there was more to the story and they edited for hot takes. I don't really know, but it sounded very much like he was saying, just don't have health insurance, wait and get long-term disability for later.
Well, so what I heard from our leader, Dave Ramsey.
You're a boy, not my leader. I don't have a leader.
He's your leader, Lori.
No.
So what I heard from our boy Dave was that when you're a business owner and you're just starting out, because this was a business owner call, was that he recommended, if you don't have a lot of money for benefits for your team, to buy long-term disability. And then when you get money, buy a group health plan. Start with long-term disability because it's more affordable. I get what he's saying, but my reaction on that is individual disability plans are still money. I would say they're $50 to $300-$400 a month, depending on if they're going to get paid $1,000 a month, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. They usually go up to 60% of the employee's income. And so it's not nothing, it's still money. And Like, yes, traditional group plans are pretty pricey. Like, we see some $800, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month for a family. If you have a team of 5 to 10 people, that's like 20, 30, 40 grand a month, you know, that can like rack up and be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So I get his point. But what he doesn't know is the benefits boss hack. And the benefits boss hack is to, when you have a team of under 50, is to individualize the plan like per person. So each person gets what they need. And you do what's called a fringe benefit. I believe it's on the tax IRS code, fringe benefit line 15B. And what it allows you to do is you can pay as much as you want for your employee's health plan, or you can pay as little as you want. So you get to set it up. Like, you're not required to have 50% on there because they're individual plans. And if the employee leaves, they take it with them. So you can get a custom plan per person, which usually makes it way more affordable than Obamacare rates. But then, you know, if they need something else, you're not trapped into it for thousands and thousands of dollars. So there are creative structures out there where you're not just limited to traditional group plans. I get his take on long-term disability, but I don't think it should be one or the other. I think you should know the hacks.
Yeah, you should for sure have both. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he just has such a big platform. And when they clip it to say just this little part, it can sometimes be a little.
What if you talk to someone and they're like, I listened to Dave Ramsey and he told me not to buy health insurance until we were doing amazing in business? What would you say to that person?
I mean, I would just explain to them that, I have such a different vantage point because I have used health insurance to its fullest, and I know and I've seen people that don't have it and wait to get it. Yeah. It's just not smart. So I would try to educate them. I mean, ultimately I'm here to do whatever the client wants to do. Like, we're in service to them.
Yeah, we can't force anybody anything,
but I'm going to for sure educate them, which I think is his tack as well, as he's trying to educate people. And I appreciate all of it. I mean, I think having the conversation is important. I do think there's got to be something that gives just across the board in America. Like, housing is so expensive, gas is so expensive, groceries are so expensive, health insurance is like, I feel like my kids are going to live with me forever because they're going to have no other choice. Yeah. Like, everything is so costly now. But I hate that when push comes to shove, one of the first things that people think to get rid of is health insurance.
Health insurance, yeah.
Because it's not a tangible something. Like,
what would you give up? Like, if a family's struggling right now and they're looking at their bills, what would you exit? What would you cancel over health insurance?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't say, I mean, it's everybody's decision to make, but there is little nickel and dime stuff that we all waste money on.
Netflix
daily.
Would you cancel Netflix over your health insurance? Streaming?
Yes, but I'd have to cancel a lot of Netflixes to cover my health insurance premium. But I think, streaming services, I think Starbucks coffee. I mean, I think they're just.
Yeah, how much money do we spend eating out in America per
Oh my
person?
gosh, I have no idea, but it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And for the nutrition and the benefits of just making it at home anyway. But, I just think it shouldn't be the first. Like, my belief is when times are tough, that's when you hold tighter to things like health insurance, auto insurance, like all of those things, because if it hits the fan and something goes awry, if you already don't have money, what are you going to do then? Like, what's going to happen then?
What was your take on, he had said something super interesting, that when you're like, this is for the business owners watching this clip, okay? Which I think we could learn from. When you have a team member and you pay 100% of their health insurance, they don't value it. Versus if you share in because every group plan increases. It's like a 10 to a 20% increase every year on average on like a traditional group insurance plan. And so are you team like paying 100% of employees' benefits? Or are you like, hey, let's split this because they don't value it?
I think that it has to be part of the conversation because that really is a part of their salary. Like, if you're coming over, I'm going to pay 100% of your premium and it's $8,000 a year. That should be part of the conversation when you're negotiating the salary. That's like, I don't think that people.
It's not like a one or
kind of highlight that as being a benefit, but it absolutely is a benefit. This is one of the few things that I really hope kind of comes to fruition that Donald Trump is a big proponent of, is this ICRA and like everybody getting a stipend and being able to go out and do your own health insurance.
Yeah.
I think that that's probably the most democratic way to do it, is like give people
Do you think
really
Trump's
the
a
choice.
Democrat?
No, I think democratic and Democrat are two different things.
They're very two different words.
Two different words. So I think that that's probably the most democratic or diplomatic way to do it, is to like give people the money and let them go make their choices.
Yeah.
So
No, I totally agree with you. I think that's super fast. I think it should be per employee, but we have a pod called Building Ain't Easy, right? # go watch our podcast. And we talked to a lot about business owners and like how to build teams and like do the thing. And I think that was a really good takeaway, is like just like a bonus. If they don't see the work that goes behind it, sometimes they don't value it. And insurance is super expensive. And I think that's why a lot of people leave group plans and they're like, oh, I want all of this for $100 a month. And it's like, dude, your company was paying like $2,000 a month for you guys, you know? And like, so because they didn't see the price tag, they didn't value it. Their proportionate prices was
the flip
different.
side of it is, like, I work with a lot of people that they'll say, we have this small business, but these people don't take it because they take their husband's coverage or whatever. The same should go in reverse, right? Like, if you don't take the allowance that's given to you for health insurance, that should probably come back to you in salary, because it's an expense that the company doesn't have to eat, right? And so, like, I've worked for employers before that said if your spouse had a group plan offered to them, you would be upcharged to put them on your insurance. So, like, I do understand. I mean, it's not convenient, but I understand a lot of these things, because sometimes people will want to be on the same plan just because they think it's more convenient. But really, the most affordable way for everybody in a household to be covered is her to take her plan from the employer with their subsidy, him to take his plan,
Yep.
or her and him, or whatever your constitution is of your family. But like, each person to take their individual plans, take the employee contribution or employer contribution, and put all of the kids with one plan or the other. Because if you split the kids up, you're just going to pay more money to add them to your plan.
For sure.
So that is the most affordable way to attack it. But I do think that, like, same thing goes. Like, if you don't take the stipend that your employer gives, that should come back to you in salary, because that's money that would have been spent on you that you're not taking advantage of.
Wow, crazy. So what do we do here at the Benefits Boss, Lori, for like, because we talked to a couple people on this video today, like business owners versus individuals. How do we help both subsects like find the best health plan for them?
Well, we just have done it for a long time, so we know now. Like the tax stuff, you got to talk to your tax advisor, because the fringe benefit, it's not maybe as clear cut as you need to talk to your tax advisor to make sure that you're doing it the right way. But, you know, I think we are creative. I will meet with people all the time that'll say like, oh my gosh, I've never thought of that before. Or a guy the other day that was like, I've talked to 10 other people and you're the first one to give me this potential solution. So I think we're creative, we're scrappy, we're like here to figure your situation out, whatever it looks like. And we're not transactional. And I think that that's how most agencies are. And so, and we know a thing or two.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not always like a clear cut path. This is probably one of the hardest parts. # watch our podcast, Building Ain't Easy, with training a team, is to teach these different paths, because it's not like one answer. It's like, okay, sometimes like we had a agent who's a new agent post in the chat and then in our team chat, like, hey, this person had cancer. What plan should I put them? And I'm like, you guys catch up with time, because like that's a super in-depth answer. Like, what doctors, what meds, how long ago was it? What's the care coming up? Like, what state are they in? You know, and so I don't know, same thing for business owners for this, or individuals. A lot of times, sometimes it's splitting up the family. Sometimes it's 3 going on one plan. It depends on what care you need and what you need covered and what are the different prices. And so that's not a basic answer. And so we gotta come up with a game plan for you.
You know, I was asked to speak this week at a career day, which is such an honor to like go see cute little kids and maybe be a part of like, probably not them deciding they're going to be an
insurance. Is it for
insurance
Mother's
agent.
Day? Like you're the mom or what?
No, it's because I run a health insurance agency.
You're a mom who runs an insurance agency.
So during this career day, it was so cute. They had like little note cards with like questions to ask at different times, right? And so they asked me like, what is your favorite thing about your job? And I'm like, that it keeps me really sharp, because when I pick up that phone, I have no idea what's on the other end, and I have to be able to problem solve that matter in like 10 minutes time. Like I've got to figure out a solution and get creative. And I think that that's like one of my favorite parts of what we do is like, we do have a large enough breadth of like product assortment that we have the right solution for everybody. We can get really creative, and we spend more time with people than I think anyone in the industry does. I think it's so transactional out there, and it's so like all about the money and get them off the phone as quickly as possible. And that's just not who we are. So I got to tell these kids that, you know, if I had to pinpoint it, that's my favorite thing about is that I have solutions that I can come up with like on a dime, helping whatever their situation is.
I love that. That's awesome. So if you guys are struggling with a health plan, if you're a small business owner who's getting group insurance and you're like, I don't even know where to start. If you're an individual who's maybe on a group plan and your team won't get you a health plan or give you an option.
Or if you just didn't even know that you had private options as an option. The reason you get an open enrollment every year is because you should spend at least one time a year looking at your health insurance. It changes, the rules change, the plans change, your circumstances change. You got to look at it at least once a year.
For sure. So there'll be a link down below. Click it. We have agents ready to help out. Go check out some more of their content. Put down in the comments below if you agree. Did you disagree? Like, do you buy your team health insurance? If you're an employee, do you like, I mean, I'm sure we all like getting paid 100%, but do you still value it, you know, if you don't know the price of it? That's the question. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Take care.